I am so glad you're joining me today. I have some more yard work that I'm gonna be doing and mowing, and in the end, I will also show you my garden. It's just crazy how much everything is growing once you actually have warm weather. I cannot believe I was wearing a sweater in this video, but hey, um, our spring was really cool and it finally warmed up, and now I cannot believe that I was wearing a sweater, but hey, that is all good. Here I was still working on this sandbox. This video has been filmed quite a while ago. As you will be able to tell later on looking at my garden, you will see that it's been a while. But it just took me a while to get this all together and have a video about this. So what I did, I just got some brick and dug a little bit of a trench and then put the bricks in so that I can go over them with a mower and don't have to trim on the edges. And then this I kind of do regret. I did put down newspaper because I didn't want to spray because it was around the sandbox and Jemias is playing with the gravel around it as well. And I should have put cardboard down instead of newspaper. It's quite thin and I think it's working okay, but I think cardboard would work better, or even landscape fabric if you have it in some place that you know you're going to keep it for years and years. But here I was doing a very much not so fun job. Yeah, there's a ball running around in our house. I got some gravel. We have a little old gravel walkway around our backyard that's been there for years probably, and the gravel was so dirty and there was so much sand in it. I kind of sieved it out. I found this old sieve in our barn and then rinsed them off with some water and then put them around the sandbox. So it was a big process, but I did get it done, and the gravel around it looks nice and tidy. So I'm kind of glad I did it, but at the same time it was not the most fun job. And I was working on two different projects the whole day. And finally I was able to put sand in the sandbox. I was so excited because I had been waiting for this a long time because Jemias loved playing in dirt, and I was just excited to have some sand for him. But that's still the case. He still enjoys dirt as well, but he's been really enjoying his sandbox as well. So I'm happy about that. And I'm really hoping that this ball that's going around in our house, there's a little boy playing with it. I hope it's not too distracting. I have a hard time doing voiceovers without any noise beside because I rarely have a quiet house anymore. So anyways, I was very happy to have him play, and then I redid my fire pit, or cleaned it up a little bit. That's what I wanted to say. So it's time to open up this fence right here. I think it's gonna be pretty easy. It's just kind of, it's a fence, it shouldn't be too hard to open it up. It's right here in our backyard. Like, we have the swing, we have the sandbox, but the only entrance to my garden is way up there or up there. And it is quite the walk if I'm in the backyard and I have to walk all the way up again and down to my garden. So I want to open up right there so that I have my shed close by, I have the sandbox close by, and I think it's going to be amazing to have it close by. And please don't come at me for being unsafe with this grinder. It was not a big job. There was not a lot of sparks flying because it was very thin wires that I was cutting. And I was being careful. The wind was blowing and I was careful that the wind blew the sparks a different way. So I was trying. We do not have safety glasses at home, so that's why I wasn't wearing any safety glasses, but I was trying my best to be very careful. But yeah, this was my first time using a grinder though, and it worked, and I'm kind of proud of myself that I actually did it. And It's been so nice to have this opening here and to be able to walk to my garden. It's been saving me lots of steps. Good morning, everyone. Today I want to take you on a tour of my garden. This is the new tour. I did a tour just before we left for Mexico, and then we got back and I thought there's no way I'm uploading that now because my garden grew so much during that 2 weeks that we were gone. A lot of it was due to the heat. We had extreme heat, and then obviously I had someone to water my garden, which I'm very, very grateful for that they were willing to do that. And yes, my garden is looking good. Like the plants that are there, I would say they look good, except for everything is very spotty because everything came up so spotty. So that's why I don't have really nice, long, luscious rows, except for my potatoes. But yeah, I'm gonna take you along and show you a little bit of what my garden looks like this morning. As I said, my potatoes look really nice. The red potatoes are still blooming. The white ones are done blooming and they're starting to fall apart or fall over a little bit. So I think it's a sign that they are somewhat done, but I'm gonna leave them in the ground. But I'm gonna try and show you. I did dig up one plant. There were so many potatoes on that one plant, so if every single plant is gonna have that much potatoes, I don't know what we're gonna do with all of them. But I have very, very spotty potatoes. I am gonna try and show you what I am talking about. There you go. I think you can tell. They are very, very spotty, as you can tell. Most of the potatoes are covered in spots. And the only thing that I can think of is ants. I don't know if you can tell how many ants there are crawling around right now. tiny red ants. And that's the only thing that I can think of why they would be that way. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think that they will stay good for a long time or they will store well. So I was really hoping that not all of them would be that way, but I guess we will find out once we dig them up. Someone once said to me that if you have too much manure in your garden, that's why they get spotty. And that cannot be the case because there's not a drop of manure in this garden. Or a drop wouldn't be the right word, but there is no manure in this garden whatsoever. So it can't be that. It can't be too much water because they haven't gotten much water. It can't be too dry because the plants look good. So if you have any idea why that is, let me know. And if you have any idea how to get rid of the ants under the ground, let me know as well. Because they're all under, like in the roots of the plants, and that's what I think is causing it, but I have no proof and I don't know if that is the case or not. So this would be my corn. I don't have much corn at all. The ones that are there are very spotty as well, and then much smaller, but I think we will have a few fresh eatings at least. They are doing well. This is my peas. They do not look the best. I think a lot of it had to do with birds are eating them like constantly. You can still tell that birds are still eating them, and especially down the road, like birds are just keep on eating them. And I figured, you know what, let's just leave it. But these, like there's a little bit that looks a little bit better. We have some peas on here. I really like peas, so I figured I wanted some for fresh eating at least, and I think I'll get a few. Then we have my cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli. Most of it is looking really well. This cabbage, it's a nice size head already. There's another one forming, another one. I have many different sizes, which is nice. There is a very nice broccoli head forming. This did not turn out, I don't know why. There's another one, kind of looks okay. That plant, I don't know if that's going to do anything. I doubt it. This is a cauliflower, and I wasn't sure if it was just leaves, but the other day I dug into it, and there's a nice little cauliflower head in there. So these plants, I'm not even sure if it's cauliflower or what it is, but something like that. And so I didn't have enough mesh for all of my plants, so there's some of them right here, and I can already tell there's worms eating on them. Once you start seeing the holes in the leaves, you know that you have worms in there. And I did see white butterflies flying around. Yep, there's the tiny little worm. So I don't expect much from these unless I want to spray them, and I don't know if I want to take the time to constantly spray them. So I have lots of cabbage there. I think I might just leave it at that and let them eat away at these. And then the few onions that I have look okay. My tomatoes look really good. They grew so much while we were gone, and there's lots of tomatoes. I think I will get plenty of tomatoes. I expect it anyways. And I think I will be able to can a lot of tomato things. Then we have my peppers. I think you will remember what they looked like when we had all that wind. I cannot believe how much they recovered in just a couple of weeks. These are the Anaheim peppers, and just look at that. Like, it's only a couple more weeks and we can probably already pick a few of them. Like, it's just, I am blown away, because I always thought that peppers didn't really recover that well, but they did. Like, I have proof now. There's a little bell pepper right there. These are all bell peppers. Of course, there's some of them, like as you can see, there's some of them that are stayed smaller. And then we have some jalapenos right here, but there's also nice size jalapenos on there already. So I am just really, really happy with them. When at one point I was almost ready to just get rid of them, but I'm so glad I didn't, and I just sticked with them. I'm gonna try and insert a picture of what they looked like after all the wind we had. Then we have my beans, green beans. They also came up pretty spotty, and then I think I sprayed some of them too much. Some of them died, but there's tiny little beans on there as well. I think we will be able to harvest some of them at least. We have my cilantro that I already cut off because it was ready to be cut. So I already froze my cilantro. Then I have my parsley. I don't know, for some odd reason I did 2 patches of parsley. I have no idea why. And then this here is summer savory. I wish you could smell this. It's the best smell of summer, the best smell that I can describe summer to. If you, like, I don't know, most likely if you didn't grow up eating green bean soup, that's the only way I know how to call it. My grandma always had green bean soup in the summer times, and it was always so good. And then my mom made it, and if I smell this, oh, it just brings me back to my mom and my grandma's kitchen. And I just really want this soup, but it's okay. Maybe my green beans will catch up because it's ready to be cut, and I was really hoping that my green beans would be ready. But if not, I can freeze this and use this later too. But yeah, I should cut it this week or next week. But anyways, that's always just the best smell. But yeah, and then my parsley I think is almost ready to be cut as well. It looks nice and full. My little bit of dill I have here, I already used some for a soup, which was amazing that I was able to go to the garden, get some. My zucchinis, I'm gonna insert a picture of what they looked like when we left. It was just mind-blowing the way they grew in 2 weeks. But I can see there's a zucchini on there. I should bring that in. Don't let it get too crazy big. But yeah, it is nice to be able to start picking a few things. Then my cucumbers. Let's see. Yeah, there is tiny cucumbers on there. So another week or 2, we should be able to also start eating fresh cucumbers. Then this is the only thing that is left from my paper daisies that I planted. I don't know why they keep on dying. Maybe it's too hot for them or something. I have no idea. Or too dry. I water them the exact way I do the rest of the garden. But the few flowers that are here, I don't know if you can hear the papery texture. I don't know if you can hear that, but that was what I was excited about. And they are really nice for dried cut flowers. But you know what? It's okay. Maybe I'll try it again next year. These are my bachelor's button. I should have staked them up a little bit better, but I figured, you know, I didn't really want to take the time to do that. But I think they are really cute. They do bleach out from the sun a little bit. When they come out, they're very dark purple, and then once they're a few days old, they get white with the purple middle there. So I think it's very pretty, but obviously they're laying all on the ground, which is not the prettiest. Then my sunflowers right there have grown a lot too. This is the first time I ever planted sunflowers, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to have some sunflowers for probably the fall. I don't think they're going to be ready before fall. I'm going all over the place, but this is my carrots. They look really nice. I'm very happy with them. All right, I think that includes my garden tour. Obviously it's not picture perfect, but I'm very happy for it being the first year that I use this spot for a garden. I think it's all right. I think it's good, and hopefully next year we have a little bit more heat to have fuller, nicer rows of things. But hey, it's all good. Maybe if everything came up that I planted, I would be overwhelmed, because I can only imagine how much everything could have yielded, and I think I would have been overwhelmed. So maybe it is a good thing that not everything came up, because I'm still working on cleaning up the yard and trimming bushes and all of that. So I still have other things to do. But we're gonna walk over to my flowers, and I'm gonna show you the flower bed with my cosmos and yeah, the flowers that I started from seed, because I need to show you what they look like right now as well. I'm stopping in the backyard, and I needed to show you these bushes or trees that we have in the backyard here. I've been absolutely loving it. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Even better if they stayed for the winter, once we would have all the snow. Can you imagine how pretty that would be? But even now, it's just really, really pretty. Alright, I'm here at my flowers, and I think it is really pretty, except for I always thought that the zinnias would be my favorite. The cosmos, I would like them, but maybe not as much. And I think for this year it's the opposite, because my zinnias, they were supposed to reach 1 meter high, so that is somewhere around here. So you would be able to nicely see them as well. But that didn't happen. They stayed so much smaller, so you can only see them if you stand right here. And the cosmos got a lot bigger than they were supposed to. That just tells you the measurements on the packages don't always tell the truth, or it's the weather, I'm not sure. But I think it's still pretty. The lobelia right here, I think they're slowly fizzling out. I don't think it's anything wrong with them. I've looked at them. I don't see any insects. They are watered, they are fertilized, but I can tell slowly, one by one, they are starting to just slowly dry up, and I'm kind of thinking it's just because they have done their time, because I've planted them quite early already, so they've been around for a while. That's what I think is going on, but maybe it's something else, I don't know. But that's okay, because the cosmos are so wide, I don't really need to have this border here. If they do die, I will just get rid of them and it's gonna look fine. Alright, that will be it for today's video. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye!